Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishnah Yomi, Masechet Betzah. We are up to Perek Bet, Mishnah Bet. Today's Mishnayot should be Leilu Nishmat, Neria ben Svetlana, Aranbayev, Neriyahu ben Burcha Israelov, Menuchatam Began Eden, Amen, Elavdi ben Chaim Lachaim, for the Refuah Shlema, Bacha Bat Esther, and Daniel Shalom ben Rosa, Betor Shah Chulei Israel. A person is obligated to immerse himself and his utensils in a mikveh before Yom Tov, so that he and his utensils will be tahor on Yom Tov. This is how the Gemara explains it on Masechet Rosh Hashanah, page 16b. The Torah forbids someone who is tamed to enter the temple or eat sacrificial foods. Since there is a mitzvah for a man to go to the temple during the 3 pilgrimage festivals, Shalosh Regalim, and make offerings and eat of their meat, a person must make himself tahor for Yom Tov, so that he will be allowed to enter the temple and eat sacrificial meat, as the Rambam writes in the Chut Tumat Ochalin, chapter 16, Halakha 10. His utensils must be tahor as well, so that they may be used for eating the sacrificial meat. Our Mishnah discusses what to do when Yom Tov falls on a Sunday and the day before Yom Tov is Shabbat. Haliyot achar Shabbat, when Yom Tov falls on the day after Shabbat, Sunday, Bet Shammai Imrim, Bet Shammai say, Matbilin et hakol milifnei Shabbat. We must immerse everything, people and utensils, before Shabbat on Friday. Immersing them on Shabbat and Yom Tov is forbidden because it resembles repairing a utensil which is prohibited on Yom Tov. Immersing people and utensils that are tameh makes them fit for uses that were previously prohibited. For example, immersed utensils may be used to hold sacrificial meat or tirumah, a purpose for which they were unfit when they were tameh. Immersion therefore gives the appearance of repairing a utensil which is forbidden on Shabbat and Yom Tov. Bet Hillel omrim, however, Bet Hillel say, Kelim lifnei Shabbat ve'adam b'Shabbat. Utensils must indeed be immersed before Shabbat for the reason that we gave, but a person may immerse himself on Shabbat because doing so does not give the appearance of repairing a utensil. Bet Hillel reason that when a person immerses himself, he appears to be merely cooling off or enjoying a bath and not making himself tahor. And that is then of Mishnah Bet. Mishnah Gimel now continues, although Bet Hillel and Bet Shammai disagree as to whether a person may immerse himself on Shabbat or Yom Tov, they agree about the laws of immersing tameh water on these days. Tameh water is made tahor through the process of hashakah, bringing into contact, literally kissing. An open container of water that is tameh is lowered into a mikveh until the water in the container slightly touches the water in the mikveh. Through touching the mikveh water, it is transformed into part of the mikveh and thus becomes tahor. This works only for water. Other tameh food or drink cannot be made tahor through any method. So the Mishnah begins, V'shavin shemashkin et hamayim b'chli even l'taharan. They agree that on Shabbat or Yom Tov, we may bring tameh water that is in a stone utensil into contact with mikveh water to make the water tahor, because making water tahor does not resemble repairing a utensil. The tameh water is not repaired through the process of hashakah. Rather, it loses its separate identity when it merges with the mikveh water. Therefore, hashakah cannot be compared to repairing a utensil. The container must be made of stone, because stone utensils do not become tameh. By rabbinic law, tameh water makes a utensil tameh. Therefore, if the container holding the tameh water were made of something that can become tameh wood, the container would become tameh from the water in it. It would then need to be immersed to make it tahor so that it not recontaminate the water in it when it is removed from the mikveh. This is forbidden, like the Mishnah will soon teach. Therefore, the tameh water must be lowered into the mikveh in a stone utensil, which does not become tameh and therefore does not need to be made tahor. But we may not put the tameh water into a tameh utensil and then immerse it and thereby purify the utensil along with the water, because it is forbidden to purify utensil on Shabbat and Yom Tov, like we learned in the previous Mishnah. Although the sages permitted purifying tameh water on Shabbat and Yom Tov, they did not permit someone to take advantage of this leniency and pure his utensil at the same time. The Mishnah presents 2 cases of immersing utensils where one intends not to make them tahor but to increase their level of tahara. Umatbilin migav legav. On Shabbat and Yom Tov, we may immerse a utensil in order to take it from being tahor for a less sacred purpose to being tahor for a more sacred purpose. Since an immersion of this type merely increases the utensil's level of tahara and does not change the utensil from tameh to tahor, it does not resemble repairing a utensil. For example, the utensil had been immersed before Yom Tov for the purpose of using it with tirumah, and then on Yom Tov its owner immerses it again so that he can use it with kodashim, sacrificial meat, which is more sacred than tirumah. Although this immersion is obligatory, it does not resemble repairing a utensil that was broken, since the immersion does not remove any tumah but merely adds tahara. and we may immerse a utensil when taking it from one group that is gathered for the Pesach offering to another such group, because such an immersion does not actually change the status of the utensil at all. The Mishnah refers to someone who immersed the Tameh utensil before Yom Tov for the purpose of using it to eat the Pesach offering with one group of people. He then changed his mind and decided to join a different group. It is not necessary for him to immerse the utensil a second time. Therefore, if he wants to go beyond the requirement of the law and immerse it again, he may certainly do so on Yom Tov, since the immersion does not legally accomplish anything. This is how the Gemara on page 98 is explained with the commentary of Rashi. And that is in Rabotai of today's Mishnah Yomi. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen v'amen.